back in the early 90s, we had 30 to 40 investigators working on these cases and could never figure these out. Obviously, probably DNA is a big thing right now. Does that look familiar?
30 years ago, this man, 73-year-old Gary Randall Muehlberg, was responsible for the murder of 18-year-old Robin Meehan, a murder that is now caught up.
Robin was killed, okay? We got a DNA hit.
But what no one in this interrogation room realizes is that Robin may never have been his only victim, because over the span of 1 year, Gary terrorized eastern Missouri, killing woman after woman after woman.
One man is now believed to be responsible for 5 murders dating back more than 30 years.
So can detectives make him confess, or will he slip away for one more time?
I've done things I'm damn proud of. Just ain't none of them. I don't have to run inside me anymore from it. No more pretending.
It is the evening of May 9th, 1990, when 27-year-old Brenda Pruitt, an exotic dancer, leaves her home for what should have been a routine night on Cherokee Street. But unfortunately for her, that routine evening is about to turn into complete disaster. Later that night, Brenda's family reports her missing after she fails to return home. Detective Jody Weber and her O'Fallon Police Department launch an immediate search, pursuing every lead they can. But despite their efforts, the investigation soon reaches a dead end. With little physical evidence to examine, no surveillance footage to review, and limited forensic technology available in the early 1990s, the case quickly grew cold. For more than a year, investigators could make little progress. Then, on October 4th, 1991, everything changes. While on patrol, deputies notice a suspicious trash can secured from the outside with electrical tape. When they force it open, they are met with a horrifying sight: Brenda's body lying inside, showing clear signs of a violent assault. DNA evidence was collected from the scene, but forensic technology at the time simply wasn't advanced enough to identify a match. Then, over the course of 1990 to 1993, deputies find 3 more bodies with a similar pattern. All 3 victims had last been seen around Cherokee Street, and every one of them worked as an exotic dancer. For the next few years, the cases grew cold. But then, on February 8, 1993, another murder occurred. This time, however, the victim was not a woman, but 57-year-old Kenneth Atchison. Kenneth was reported missing by his family after he failed to return home from a planned meeting with a man named Gary Randall Muehlberg. Kenneth and Gary were supposed to complete a car trade worth roughly $6,000. When deputies stepped inside Gary's home in Bell Ridge to look for Kenneth, they made a horrifying discovery. Hidden in the basement was a homemade plywood coffin, and inside was Kenneth's body, handcuffed, stabbed, and shot. Gary was later arrested and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. But even after his conviction, the 4 Cherokee Street murders remained unsolved. For years, Detective Jody refused to let the case die. She repeatedly submitted evidence from the Robin and Sandra investigations to the crime lab, hoping advances in DNA technology would eventually produce results. Finally, in 2022, nearly 3 decades after the murders, the lab successfully developed a full DNA profile from a t-shirt recovered at Robin's crime scene. The DNA belonged to Gary, the same man already serving a life sentence for the murder of Kenneth. Completely unaware of the breakthrough, Gary has no idea investigators are about to confront him with the evidence that links him to the Cherokee Street murders.
All right, well, we're investigating some cases from back in the early 90s. So we got to do some paperwork for us to be able to talk about that any further. Okay. So I do have to give you your Miranda rights. Just because you're here now and for us to be able to talk to you and hear what we got to say. Okay.
That can take a long time ago.
So I did a little bit of homework on you. So you have been here since 93? Or you got locked up in 93, been here since 95. Okay. Are you from the St. Louis County area?
Yeah, that's where I fell from. Up in Bell Ridge.
Okay. And you lived there from like the late 80s, right, in Bell Ridge?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a particular girl that I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
Okay. Obviously, you probably watch television and technology changing in this world.
Yep.
DNA is a big thing right now, and technology, with DNA progressing so much throughout the years, that's kind of what put us here right now. So, I can tell you, for back in the early 90s, we had 30 to 40 investigators working on these cases and could never figure this case out. But here we are in 2022 with technology, and we got a DNA hit. Okay. Does that ring a bell at all? Robin?
No, I don't remember
Remember Robin? Did you, happen to pick up any at all back in those days, or
Not that I can recall.
no?
Yeah, I got a divorce. Yeah, I don't even remember when that was, early 90s.
Okay.
I mean, I might have.
Okay. So I guess your ex-wife, you got divorced, I want to say it was late 80s maybe? You have two kids together?
Like I don't remember the exact date.
Okay, and you have 2 kids together?
Yep.
Okay.
That's right. Gary is actually divorced, and the reason his marriage ended isn't particularly surprising. Robin wasn't his first victim. His pattern of violent attacks had begun years before. In February of 1972, Gary was arrested in Salina after committing an armed robbery and attacking an 18-year-old woman who had been babysitting alone at her home. Gary, realizing that this was the best opportunity, broke into the home, threatened her with a knife, assaulted her, stole money, and fled the scene. What's surprising is although he was convicted of armed robbery, he was found not guilty of the assault charge by reason of insanity. Then, nearly a year later, in January of 1973, Gary repeated the same pattern. He gained entry to the home of a young girl by pretending he needed to use the telephone. Once inside, he carried out a similar attack before fleeing. This time, however, his insanity defense did not hold up, and he was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Following that conviction, his first wife divorced him and left with their son.
So early 90s, you're living in Bell Ridge, I guess up until 93 when you got locked up.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said you did kind of maybe pick up there?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember their names at all?
No.
No.
Where would you have picked them up from?
At bars or taverns.
Any streetwalkers or anything like that?
They may have been, but I don't know. I don't remember where they were when I met them. Mainly bars.
Okay. But they were working girls, they weren't just patrons of the bar? I mean,
After I got talking to them, I guess I knew they were,
because it would cost you some money? It would cost you some money?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
How many girls do you think you picked up over those early 90s?
I have no recollection or idea of that.
I know we're throwing stuff at you from
Yeah.
32 years ago, right?
And my memory is not the best anymore.
Yeah.
Part of my job is that I do a lot of these, like she was talking about, progress and DNA and stuff like that. I work cold cases. I did a pretty long stint with the local police department, but now I'm hired to do pretty much cold cases. And that's why I'm working with Jody here to, work on some of these that are been sitting around for years and years and years. And again, in reference to the cases that she's going to talk about, I was one of the original investigators on that case back in the 90s, in 91.
Okay.
So I have a knowledge of these cases, and she's been devoting almost her entire time in the Detective Bureau doing the same thing, working on cases like this, especially this case here. So she has a lot of information. She will explain it to you and just lay it out to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're here life without parole, right?
Mhm.
So you're spending the rest of your time here, however
However short, however long.
that might be, right? Okay. Well, I'm just gonna show you. This is,
Do you need glasses to read, or can you read?
I'm okay. I thought I was going out for medication, that's why I got my pen with me and I'm not properly dressed.
so Robin, she was a young lady that was found.
I'm being charged with a homicide.
No, you're not being charged with anything right now. I'm just showing that's the lab report.
Okay,
Robin was killed, okay, and she was found in between two mattresses. And your DNA came back on two different pieces of evidence from her.
okay.
So, does that look familiar? And what I want to tell you, Gary,
What is it?
those are mattresses.
Oh,
So what I want to tell you, Gary, is there is a journalist writing a book about these cases,
okay,
and he's waiting for the final chapter.
okay,
He apparently his mom covered these stories back in the early 90s,
okay,
and he's doing this as kind of a legacy to her. So he's writing a book, and he's waiting kind of just to do the final chapter of the book. He doesn't know who you are yet. I haven't released the information of who you are. But there's going to be a lot of people studying these cases. They're very interested in these cases. Obviously, we didn't pick your name out of a hat. I mean, your DNA came back to two pieces of evidence on Robin. So I just kind of want to give closure to these cases and put these cases to rest. I mean, with you being here with life without parole, I don't know that it's going to change much for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, I don't know how I'm tied into this, but a mattress.
Um,
How you dry mouth without my teeth in?
Ah,
where is?
cut off your water.
Does that tattoo look familiar at all?
Mm.
Have you been out to Lincoln County at all?
I can't even think where Lincoln County is.
You know where Troy, Missouri is?
Yeah,
If you go down 70 and pick up 79
I've been through it,
or 63.
going up to Iowa to visit family.
Okay. Here, basically what we're trying to do is we've got 3 cases that we're working.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 of them all happened back in that particular time frame. And we got the lab people sending us a copy. Matter of fact, they just texted me not too long ago. They do have a report. And the DNA, and I'm not sure if you understand what DNA is and,
Yeah.
and how it's progressed. I mean, you can probably get my DNA off that. So it's a very sophisticated system that they use. And is there any reason why your DNA would be on 2 items from this particular case?
If that was one picked up, I imagine we had a relationship.
Okay. You wouldn't happen to remember a name or anything like that?
No.
Do you know, okay, so you say that you picked and you had relations, and if your DNA was on particular items, that leads us to believe that you were involved because these items we found were in or around her body
Okay.
when we discovered. So I think you understand where we're going with this.
Yeah.
Correct?
You're thinking I am committed a crime.
Yes, sir.
Even at 73, Gary hasn't forgotten how to deflect and explain away the accusations against him. Since Robin worked as an exotic dancer and had a relationship with Gary, he likely assumed that finding his DNA on her could be explained. What he doesn't realize, however, is that his DNA wasn't found only on her clothes. It was also found on one other crucial piece of evidence, a discovery he never saw coming, and the one the detectives are about to confront him with.
I'm being accused of, what did that say, a homicide.
Well, that's just the way the report.
That's the title of the report at this point. But like I said, with these mattresses, there's 2 pieces of evidence wrapped up inside there that come back to you. So like we explained it to you, you know, year and year for whatever time you have left.
Yeah.
You're not getting any, I mean, I don't know how they can give you anything more, you know what I'm saying? But we would like to,
The death penalty.
well, I mean, you know, that takes 15, 20 years, you know? That takes 15, 20 years typically.
Not since the courts were long, a couple of years back is, you know, but I'm not gonna count to something I didn't do or don't remember doing.
Could you have done it, just don't remember?
I think this conversation's over because I don't understand all this.
That's why we're just trying to explain it to you.
Yeah.
That's why I'm laying it out there for you.
Yeah, I
the lab
appreciate
report.
that. I mean, I might have been one of many people that had a relation with somebody in one day. If it's
Mhm.
because common sense tells me that's how they make their living. Have a couple jobs.
Well,
So-
I'll be specific with you. I mean, this, the DNA came back
Okay.
was wrapped up with her.
Okay.
And then she had tape on her body that comes back to your DNA.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm being honest as I can with you.
I appreciate that,
So-
but I don't. No.
All right. The reason I bring that up, do you have a picture of your case? We have another case that, it's hard to tell because they're pretty grainy pictures. But we got another case, this is another. And this is a box. And there's a dresser that's inside the box. She was inside the dresser and the box looks like it was built around her. Again, that pretty much coincides with the case that, you know, you don't want to talk about it. I won't go further into it. But that's why all these cases seem very similar because where we found them, we used the word they were packaged. All 3 of the cases we're talking about, obviously the mattress is a package. This was a box, was a dresser inside of the box. And then we have a third one that actually wasn't as sophisticated as these 2 were. And she was found in a trash can, one of those plastic trash cans. So, and the girls are connected. They know each other, or knew each other back in the day. So everything that we're putting together and everything that we're doing, again, this wasn't as sophisticated as the other ones, but it's definitely, she was in there, and I think it was in plastic in there, and quite some time because she. So what we're doing is I got DNA guys that are working actually on the way up that kept sending us messages and stuff. They're continuing to work on that and not if, but when they get a DNA hit, then we're going to tie all 3 of them together. And we're here to give you an opportunity to talk to us about these and make it as easy on yourself as you can possibly make it. And let us know what you
You're gonna
think.
charge me with, what, 3 homicides?
We don't know if we're gonna charge anybody. We're up here to try to get the truth out of you and have you tell us what you know.
I don't know anything about those.
So, again, how do you explain your DNA being on
I
the
don't.
tape? On the tape,
I don't.
or have you picked any from around the Cherokee Street area?
Well, I don't remember. Probably.
Okay. All right. You see where we're trying to put, this whole thing is like a puzzle.
Yeah.
And I'm a very slow puzzle worker. So I have to ask a lot of these. A lot of them make me sound stupid to you, but I gotta ask them because I don't know the answer to all these. Would you have a problem with us coming back and talking to you?
If I had a problem, would it make a difference?
Well, you can refuse to talk to us.
Yeah. No, I have no problem with it.
Okay. So we're gonna leave it kind of open as the fact that if we get more information, we'll come back and talk to you.
If this is your choosing, you want to, you know,
Okay.
I can't
Oh,
stop you from coming down.
right.
It's clear that with all the physical evidence the detectives have right now, Gary is the only person responsible for the murders. But since he's not willing to cooperate, they end the interview and later come back with a new proposition, which instantly captures his attention.
Hi Gary, how are you?
Gary, how are you?
I got you what you wanted. Okay. I got you 3 letters here from 3 prosecutors. You want to take a look at that? So then they won't seek the death penalty.
Also, my boss has called the director of Department of Corrections, and also we talked to the warden here. No matter what happens, you will not be out of here. You will not lose any privileges, your iPhone, nothing.
iPad. Yeah.
iPad.
Yeah.
Everything will remain the same.
Okay.
Because last time we talked to you, I think that was one of your biggest concerns, was because you were pretty much setting your ways here and then the death penalty. So we've answered both those situations, and we would like to talk to you further in reference to the cases we're working.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
Because I can, since we talked to you last time, some more evidence came back with DNA on it. The shirt, the T-shirt, 2 pieces of the T-shirt came back with your DNA too. The T-shirt that was wrapped around her head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Knowing that he would have all the privileges he has right now in jail and that he wouldn't be charged with the death penalty, Gary decides to talk.
Okay, so now what?
So I'd like to start with Robin. I have a picture of Robin.
I don't recognize the name, of course. It's 30 some odd years ago.
So Robin was the young lady that was in between the 2 mattresses.
You know what?
In between 2 mattresses.
Okay.
Can you tell me
She
how?
don't-
Tell me how you met her.
Man, I've been thinking about that. It's like, I don't know. I can't recall the circumstances I met her, but I guess if my DNA and all that stuff ties me to it, I'm good for it. But I don't remember a lot of the details.
Can you?
I don't know if I met her in a bar or on the street, picked her up. Because didn't you say she was like a, yeah,
Correct.
yeah. Hired, and I can't recall the name Robin. I know from myself and other people, a lot of the girls that worked the street had street names,
Sure.
you know.
Sure.
Does she look familiar, though? I know it's been a long time ago.
Yeah, you said this was back in what, 90?
Yeah.
That's 32 years ago.
So, but you do remember having her at your house?
She vaguely, I mean, she's an attractive looking young lady. Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember how long she was there at your house?
No, ma'am, I sure don't.
Okay.
I sure don't.
So what do you remember about the mattresses and
I wish I could recall what was going through my mind to do something like this.
Do you remember doing it?
Vaguely, I mean, I'm thinking I had a
Okay.
and painter.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Back in the day, is there any reason that you would be upset with him afterwards? That would,
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't know what would prompt me offhand to kill somebody like that. Well, I wish I could. Might help clear my conscience.
So you've been thinking about these since we left last time?
What do you think?
Nonstop, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
you pretty much were convinced we were coming back, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were pretty much convinced we were coming back, right?
Oh, yeah. Just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
5 weeks today.
Is it?
Yeah. Your memory's better than mine.
Yeah. Good memory.
On some things. Like, when you get old, some things fade away.
Sure. Now, do you remember where you disposed of her body? Do you remember where you disposed of her body?
I'm thinking last time I got something about along a highway out in St. Charles County or Troy or something.
Okay.
That's about, I don't remember exactly where I picked her up at. I'm assuming it was on the streets of South St. Louis. Going back to my house. Maybe in time I can remember more details, but right now it's foggy at the best.
It's obvious that after 32 years, Gary could barely remember anything about what he did to Robin. But we will tell you the horror she went through after meeting him. At just 19 years old, Robin was a mother of two who got into exotic work to provide for her children while battling a drug addiction. Looking for a victim with those vulnerabilities, Gary met her on Cherokee Street. After manipulating her, Robin decided to go with Gary to his Bell Ridge home, not knowing that she would never come out alive. Once inside, Gary took her down to his basement's concrete room and killed her. He then took the two mattresses that were already in his home, wrapped her in them, and dumped her remains near Highway 61 and Highway E, north of Silex, Missouri. Deputies later discovered her on March 26th, roughly 4 days after her death.
Let me show you another picture.
And like she said, we don't want a whole bunch of people coming down and talking to you. Just.
Does she look familiar?
She almost looks like a girl I dated from the little diner. Pam, I can't even think of her last name now.
Well, this is Sandra Little. This is Sandra Little. It says Sharon. I don't know if the booking officer got that wrong or what, but
Yeah.
it's Sandra Little. And she was found in O'Fallon. And I think we talked about that a little bit last time. About the box.
I remember talking about me being a carpenter at one point.
Mm-hmm. What do you remember about her? What do you remember about her?
Not much at all. What kind of box?
It was like plywood. It was a box that was built. So when you lived at the house on East Edgar, Did you keep any of these girls for a period of time?
Not more than a day or two. Oh, she sure don't look familiar.
Now, this is, I don't know the date on this photograph or how early it is before she was taken. Do you recall?
Well, the date on here says 5/4 of 89. And she was 1990 is when she.
So that could be an old picture.
89.
Less than a year.
Less than a year.
What was this one, 89 too?
I don't know, I'd have to look at it.
This is the name. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it looks like an 89. So the box that Sandra was in is similar to a box that Doc was in.
Well, I sure don't remember making a box.
Did you have any old dressers sitting around that?
I mean, I had furniture.
Do you ever remember removing the bottoms of the drawers that she might have fit in, and then the box built around her?
Oh, I was thinking when you said a box, something that was put together from scratch. But furniture?
If this box may not have been built by you, it may have been a box that you, I don't know, you had from a work site or something like that you might have stored other things in.
Mm-hmm.
But she originally was put into a small dresser drawer.
I really don't look that familiar, but definitely the box, but I can't tell. I mean, maybe it'll come back to me in time.
Yeah, we're like he said, we're just trying to avoid. We're just trying to avoid a bunch of people coming down here,
Yeah.
Getting you
So.
confused and everything.
Right. And obviously, when we leave here, the prosecutors are going to ask us. I said, obviously, when we leave here, the prosecutors are going to ask us how it went. So.
Yeah. Hopefully they're satisfied with me confessing.
And just like in Robin's case, Gary doesn't remember anything when it comes to Sandra Little. Sandra was 21 years old when she went missing from Cherokee Street in September of 1990. It was later revealed that Gary had manipulated her and brought her into his basement, where he subjected her to unimaginable horrors before killing her. But unlike Robin, he kept Sandra hidden in his basement for months. He then removed the drawers from a wooden dresser he owned, placed her inside, and built a custom wooden frame around the opening. Then, several months later, in early 1991, he loaded the heavy wooden box into his van and dumped it along the shoulder of Interstate 70 in O'Fallon, Missouri, where it was discovered on February 17, 1991. While Gary sits there repeating, "I don't remember," he seems to have forgotten the deal he agreed to. He would confess, and in return, the detectives wouldn't seek the death penalty. But it seems like he has forgotten that as well, and now detectives are about to remind him.
Let me ask you this. And I think you're being honest with us. Let me ask you this, and I want you to really think about this. Were there more than one that you might have killed? Now think about it, because I would know. As old as I am, I would remember if there was more than one.
Yeah, I mean, from what you're telling me, it does touch on recall a little bit. Like I said, 30 some odd years ago.
I'm not really talking about details right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the fact that was there more than one that you were involved in taking their life?
Taking their life?
I mean, this is kind of a important question for you.
Yeah.
That's why we got all three prosecutors wanting to do this all at once. Have you killed more than one?
These two, for sure. I mean, there's bits and pieces that I remember, but not all the details.
And I understand that. I
Yeah.
understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Don't patronize me, okay?
I'm not patronizing you. Well, how do you think I'm patronizing you?
I don't
I mean,
know. It's
explain,
just,
because I don't really understand what patronizing. Honestly, I don't. People say that, and I'm like, what have I said to patronize you?
probably nothing. It's just, it's impossible for me to know what's going through your mind, and vice versa. I mean,
All right.
there's things going through my mind right now that is clarifying some of this, but it's also foggy. You know, it's still.
Well, I get it. I mean, we came here after 30 some years to talk to you. But I thought maybe since we were here last time, some of the stuff like you said, you've been thinking a lot about it.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe recalled some of the stuff.
I'm almost sure I've been with more than two young ladies like this, but God, I hope I didn't kill them all.
We don't. We don't. Let's put it this way. At this point, we don't know of any other ones other than these three.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean there's.
And like I said earlier, I don't know what prompted me to take their lives. Because I dated some pretty nice young ladies. Why I would go out and do something like this.
Well,
I mean, it was venting frustration, hostilities, anger.
you were obviously a different person then.
Apparently in more than one way.
Right. Because you say you have a conscience now.
I've always had a conscience.
Okay.
Maybe not all the time totally in charge of it.
Did something make you
lose
control?
I really do wish I knew what prompted me to do this, because it was a bunch of mixed emotions. Embarrassment, ashamed of myself. What tripped the scale to cause this to happen?
Mm-hmm.
I myself may never know.
It's possible that Gary doesn't remember the turning point in his life that ultimately led him to commit such horrifying acts, but criminal psychologists believe there may have been one. Back in the late 1960s, after graduating from high school, Gary and his older brother Ronald were drafted into the United States Army during the height of the Vietnam War. While Gary was stationed at various military installations in the United States and never saw combat, Ronald was sent to the front lines and was killed in action on August 21, 1968, during a battle in the Mekong Delta. Criminal psychologists believe that the sudden loss of his brother, combined with his own isolation while serving stateside, may have been a psychological turning point. But does that justify the horrific crimes he later committed? Absolutely not.
I've done things I'm damn proud of.
Won't you have?
Just ain't one, none of them.
I know it's hard to do, but now's the time to get it out. I mean, like you said, you don't know how much time you have left. When the right thing to do is to get it all out and get it off your conscience, and knowing that you did what you could while you were on this earth, you know?
right now, I feel like I've done a lot just talking to y'all and I guess confessing to these. Maybe.
We just wanted a little bit more detail into what was going, what
I
happened.
can understand it. You all want as much detail to make sure you got the right guy.
No, we got all the evidence as you. And I showed you the lab reports when we were here before.
But you're saying some other name, Danny, somebody that.
That's just a name that had come up throughout the 30 years.
Okay.
We don't have his DNA. We have yours. So we thought maybe because some of the stuff, looked like it linked to Danny. We thought maybe you were friends with him or knew him at some point.
Boy, that name.
But his DNA didn't come back to anything, and then it hit to you, and then every piece of evidence has come back with your DNA. Yeah. So we already know we're talking to the right person. We're just hoping we can get a little bit more detail as far as how it happened, why it happened.
Yeah, I wish you could get that information because I would enjoy it.
Yeah.
To know, like I said, I come from good family, good people. I've always tried to do maybe not the right thing, but the proper thing. I just, because these dates are similar to each other within months of each other.
The murders happened in 1990, so a year after these pictures.
Those are the those are the mug shots.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that clarified that. What time of year did you find them?
She was March, and she went missing in fall of 1990, but she wasn't found until February 91. So that's why I asked you how long you might have kept her.
Yeah, she wouldn't have been at my house that long. Because I had custody of my kids on a couple of weekends a month.
Can you remember where you would have taken her? Do you remember where you took her?
Did you own any property or garages or somebody else's house or?
No, I didn't.
In the woods or?
No, I didn't own any property.
Because from the time she was taken until the time they found her was a pretty good amount of time. And she
Sound like what, 3 or 4 months?
But she was she was really when we found her. So we're just trying to figure out the location where she might have been, because the first one you said you didn't shoot for maybe a day, if that much, or a couple days. And this one here, and it was dropped off on the day it was found. It wasn't like somebody walking down the woods and find it. It was on a particular area where you couldn't hardly not see it. And then somebody stopped and picked it up.
Like they were intentionally left?
Yes.
To be found?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. I'm thinking it was along the highway. Probably, 70.
Okay.
But I can't place how far O'Fallon was out of St. Louis. I know it was west of St. Louis, but.
Do you remember what was around there?
You mean like
Buildings,
restaurants, shopping centers?
Sure.
I don't think it was isolated.
Do you remember which vehicle you used that time?
Probably the van. Because I don't think I had the pickup truck in early 90s. I think I got that. In like late 91, early 91. Might have been, I mean, I can't remember when I exactly got that.
Do you remember getting that box out? I mean, you're a big guy, so I would imagine it wouldn't be too hard for you.
I'm thinking it might have been, it's not a box I made.
Okay.
It had to be existing something like a shipping crate, a piece of furniture.
Would that have been something you might have had in your basement?
Yeah, it could have been.
And just like that, Gary gets his memory back and recalls exactly how he killed Sandra and disposed of her remains. But there's still one more victim the detectives want to ask him about, Brenda Pruitt.
We do have another one that we'd like to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The third one we talked about a little bit.
Why do you keep coming and coming?
Well, we told you there's three, so this is Brenda Pruitt. Same thing. What's the year of that? 1994, 9, and 90.
Well, she looked like a rough one. Shouldn't say that. You look like somebody who definitely would work the streets.
Mm-hmm.
This one looked like she had more class. I mean, she took care of herself.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, mugshots don't always do a person justice.
Sure, yeah.
That's at the lowest point.
Mm-hmm.
Pruitt.
So,
I knew a Pruitt, but he worked for the Shriners at Moolah Temple on the night crew. I don't think they were related.
you remember what his first name was?
Hmm?
Do you remember what his first name was?
Boy, I sure don't. I sure don't.
Okay, so she was found in Maryland Heights.
In Maryland Heights.
Yeah, so you said you worked at the Shriners. That's also in Maryland Heights, is that right?
Yeah, the new Moolah Temple moved from, what was that, Lindell,
Yeah.
out to the old Parkway Junior High School. They bought it and remodeled it.
So you're kind of familiar with Maryland Heights then.
Yeah, Chuck.
So Brenda, does she look familiar to you?
None of them that I couldn't pick out of a lineup. I mean,
Okay.
no.
So same kind of thing, alongside a highway. In a container.
Okay.
The same year. So do you remember, I know you said you can't really remember why or how you took their life, but that goes for Brenda?
How did she die?
Same as Robin. Mm-hmm.
Damn. Definitely some bad memories coming up.
Are you reliving that?
Hmm?
Are you reliving it?
Trying to, but bits and pieces.
What are the bits and pieces you remembered about Brenda?
I mean, I don't recall where I met her or how.
Okay. How about after taking her life?
Just off some kind of apartment complex.
Do you remember putting her in the trash can?
Hmm?
Do you remember putting her in the trash can?
Yeah.
Do you remember if she had any clothes on?
I can't recall if she was fully clothed or partially clothed. That detail I don't.
And I don't know if we talked about it with Robin, but I know we said a little bit whether she had clothes on or not. Do you remember any of your clothes being in there?
Mm-mm.
Or you used your clothes for any reason?
Nah. If I had any of my clothes in there, then it must have been subconsciously asking for help or something, or to be caught.
Well, back then, that's probably the last thing on your mind was DNA, you know?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, at this day and age, that's how it's all coming about.
Yeah, I don't remember any clothes of mine with any of them.
Now, you had said that if she was in a trash can, if it was sitting upright, that it wouldn't fall over or anything like that. But if you put her in a van and she has a tendency to fall over, would there have been any kind of a lid you put on that, or?
I'm sure there was a lid. It was a trash can. Yeah, there's undoubtedly a lid to it.
It's true that when deputies found Brenda, there was a lid secured on the trash can, but the scene was far worse than what Gary describes. Brenda was 27 years old when Gary picked her up from the same place, Cherokee Street. Using the same techniques, he brought her down to the basement and did similar things to what he had done to his other victims. But with Brenda, he didn't discard her remains right away. Instead, he kept her on his property for months before stuffing it into a large plastic trash bag, placing a lid on top of it, and then securing it with electrical tape. It was 17 months later when maintenance workers discovered a discarded trash can along the side of the road near Page Boulevard and Interstate 270 in Maryland Heights, with Brenda inside. And while Brenda was the final victim on the detective's list, what they don't know is that Gary had still killed 2 more women, cases in which his DNA was never found.
Is it safe to say that we've presented 3 cases? Is there a possibility there's more?
No.
You know, because when this comes to light, there's going to be people probably calling me wanting to know.
Yeah, their 10 minutes of fame getting involved and stuff if they had any. Yeah.
Or they want to clear their case.
Yeah.
And they're going to ask, you know, for your DNA to compare to their DNA. So if there is anything that we can clear up for you to avoid
No.
more visitors.
No, I can't.
While he claims that there are no more victims, he later confessed to killing 2 more women, 40-year-old Donna Rittmeyer and Jane Doe. Although remains of Donna were discovered in a trash can on a sidewalk on Gasconade Street near South Broadway, Jane's remains have never been found. Gary was then charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. While already serving a life sentence for Kenneth's murder, he was sentenced to 4 additional concurrent life sentences without the possibility of parole.
We hope you enjoyed today's video. 85% of our viewers aren't subscribed, so if this is the kind of content you come back for, just hit subscribe. It's the single biggest thing you can do to support the channel. If you want to keep watching more, check out one of the most intense cases we've ever covered right here. or catch up on our latest upload right here.